I'm coming to you barefaced because today I'm going to review the Sculpted by Aimee Cream Cushion Foundation. I've spoken about this many times over on Instagram, but I thought that it deserved its own YouTube video for anybody who wanted a full in-depth review on it. I bought shade 2.75 myself, and you can see that it is nicely used and messy. Okay, but they sent me a new one, so I wanted to open that on camera to show you what to expect if you were to buy it. Now, at the time of recording this video, some of the more popular shades are out of stock, but hopefully by the time you're watching this video, they'll be back in stock. So I bought shade 2.75N, and I bought that based on the fact that I'm shade 2.75 in all of the other Sculpted bases. Get a very enjoyable, clean pink compact. I actually love the packaging, and I wasn't sure that I would because it's pink and it's pale. I thought that it would get really grubby, but it's not that grubby at all. And I'm messy. Let's do the very satisfying peel. You get a little pad that sits on the top there really nicely. I love the fact that it's not like a really bulky thing, and I actually do use it. It's really handy to get that, and then just so that you know, if you were to buy a refill, this part pops out so you don't have to keep buying like new components all the time. I love that. Do you know, it's those little things that helps make a difference in terms of sustainability, and it's something really easily done. So that's the compact in there. Now this comes in 30 shades, just FYI. When I was choosing my shade originally, I went onto the website and it had like this grid, and it said, you know, if you're shade 2.75 in the other ones, that's the shade that you are in this. You can use that website foundation if you want to enter in some of your other foundations, and then that will give you a potential shade for this. So when you open here, you have this part which is closed, and you very satisfyingly peel that off to reveal the product. Now see on the top there, you can see a little bit of oil. That's normal. So it's the oil from the product that's just kind of settled at the top, so there's nothing to worry about. If you just get a tissue, you can dab that off. Very first time I used this, I didn't know that. I bought it blind. I didn't read any reviews. Well, nobody had shown it yet. I bought it myself whenever it launched, and yeah, I made sure not to read up anything about it because I just wanted to try it kind of blind, if that makes sense, without research, without any kind of bias. And I thought initially it was very sheer, and I was like, oh, but then it was just I needed to press in more. So it's essentially a cream product underneath a mesh. As I said, because I did no research before I bought it, I thought cream cushion foundation, the clue is in the name, it's cream, but I thought it was going to be a liquid foundation in a sponge, because that's all I've ever seen when it comes to compacts like this. You get the sponge that has soaked up the foundation, and every so often you have to switch it over, but no, this has like a mesh on the top. Can you see it there? See that it's wrinkled? So like I said, you can use this with the pad, or you can apply it with the brush as well. This is the Sculpted Complexion Duo brush. You can apply foundation with this side and your concealer with that side. Really handy brush. Use it all. I use it all the time. I have another one upstairs that's filthy dirty, so it's nice to have a nice clean one. But what I'm going to do for this side of my face is show it applied with the little sponge. So like any other compact foundations, you just press into the product and it picks up plenty. I like a mix of patting and swiping when it comes to this. Now, despite it being shade 2.75, it is, to me, slightly darker than some of the other 2.75s. That's just an FYI, but once I bring it down my neck, it's fine. What's handy about having the little puff that's built in, essentially, it means that like you can do top-ups on the go. But I found that this lasts so beautifully on the skin. Now, I haven't done any primers or anything on my skin. I just applied my moisturizer with SPF. You can see on my nose how much it takes the redness down, and it looks like skin. The puff has a little pointy side there, which means you can get in around the nose, under the eyes, and it's flexible as well. It's not like one of those really thick pads that you can't manipulate to get to the corners of your face that you want. I'm just making sure to bring it into my hairline because it is slightly warm on me. But once I have makeup on, it looks perfect. This is such a buildable formula, and it still looks like skin. It contains long-wear polymers, which means that it looks gorgeous on my skin as the day goes on. Like anytime I wear this, I get compliments on my skin going, what is your foundation? I'm like, it's the Cream Cushion Foundation. It has niacinamide and it has glycerin, so it feels really hydrating on the skin. And if you are doing top-ups, you can just be as light as you want. So you're not having to like add really heavy layers onto your skin. Like, it's just gorgeous. I love that it looks really skin-like on me, because the older I'm getting, the less heavy makeup I want to wear. This is my type of makeup, just like really lightweight feeling on the skin, but the lightweight look. Now, because I have an oily T-zone, I do need to powder down the center of my face, and I usually powder here and here, because that's where I get like shiny anyway, no matter what foundation I use. And I have to do that with this as well. What I'm going to do for the other side is show you the application with the brush. So I'm just going to bounce the brush in there, and you can see the product that it's picking up. And this gives me a sheerer coverage with the brush, which I like. Like, it's that perfect complexion even outer on days where you don't want to look like you're wearing makeup, but you just want to even out like the redness, not completely hide it. Now, I'm not pressing in hard. I'm just kind of like lightly bouncing. And because this is buildable, I can just keep bouncing as much as I need, because I don't want to overload the brush with the product, because I don't want to waste the product. And I think all skin types would love this, even mature skin. Like, I am nearly 49, and I love the fact that this is a mix of makeup and skincare too, because yes, it's not going to replace, like, products that have skincare in them, they're not going to replace your regular skincare routine, but it's nice to have just that little bit extra, isn't it? So when I use the brush, I use a mix of buffing, which kind of smooths everything out over the skin. I do stippling as well, and I do swiping as well. Like, it's all very scientific. And there we have it with the brush and with the little puff. So you can see that it's slightly sheerer on this side, but it is buildable if I wanted to keep adding it on. And it doesn't look heavy, it doesn't settle into my fine lines. I think if you've dry skin, you probably won't need to powder it. If you have oily combination skin, I think you will. Like, look how healthy my skin looks. And it doesn't look like I'm wearing loads of makeup. Let me bring you a little bit closer so you can see it in more detail. Like, it looks like skin. Yes, as I said, at the moment, shade 2.75N, which is what this shade is, it's sold out online. Actually, what I'll do is, let me just swatch it here. That's like a thick swatch. Obviously, if I was spreading it out over my skin, like, it wouldn't be that heavy a swatch. They sent me shade 4N as well, so I just want to see how that compares. Like, 4N looks quite golden, 2.75N looks kind of peachy, and it does look quite peachy and warm on my skin. I wouldn't necessarily call these shades neutral, because they do lean a little bit warmer on my skin tone. Shade 4N definitely has more warmth compared to 2.75. Actually, shade 2.75 looks more neutral compared to 4N. Like, you see how pale my hand is. If you have like slightly darker skin, it might look more neutral on you. So what I'm going to do is do the rest of my makeup, and I'll come back and I'll show you how this looks with everything on top. So be right back. Okay, so the rest of the makeup is done, and the only thing I haven't done is powdered, but I just wanted to show you what my skin looks like after, what, like 15 minutes after applying it. So let me just bring you a little bit closer. If you can see the glow that this gives. Hold on, let me just back you up. You're all up in my face. So we're going to powder. So I have my trusty Charlotte Tilbury powder, the best one for me, and I like to powder just here and slightly down the nose, and I'm going to powder here because I find that I can look greasy if I'm shiny there. That's just, listen, it's a personal thing. I feel like if you have oily skin, or have ever had oily skin, you'll get that. We have that balance of trying to look dewy and not sweaty. And I'm going to powder here just in my smile lines. It's just what I've always done. And a little bit on the chin, and the last bit will just be here. Oh, I didn't put blush on. I knew something looked weird. Hold on now. Makeup goes on so nicely over this. Like, whatever I put on, I'm using like a cream blush, it just meshes. It just makes me look so healthy and glowy. I absolutely love it. I always bring my blush just a little bit across the forehead to make it look like I'm sun-kissed, even though I'm not, because it's really grey and miserable out, which is why I had to use studio lighting today for the video. It was just to kind of keep the light consistent, because it's just grey, and then every so often it gets a little bit brighter, then it gets darker. I always take whatever's left on my foundation brush just to soften the edges of my makeup. One more little dusting of powder. And as you can see, now that I have the rest of my makeup on, everything looks more cohesive. The foundation itself isn't as kind of like warm toned. It's just, I just love it so much. I feel like it's a gorgeous match. So this has gone viral for a reason, and I think it is just one of my favorite bases of the year. And as I said, I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, just because in the past, whenever I've tried cream foundations, they've been in a compact and you have to use like the pad to like swipe it away, and then you're like swiping it on and it's just heavy, it looks cakey. But with this, whatever the technology they have in here, you know, with the mix of the skincare and the pigment and the mesh, and like how much the cream part isn't like solid, like it just gives for a gorgeous, flawless, natural looking, glowy, healthy, radiant, beautiful base. I love it so much. I'll leave it linked below. As I said, hopefully by the time you're watching this, the shades will be back in stock, or maybe it might be a different shade to me. So now I have Sculpted Hydro Tint, I've Sculpted Satin Silk, and I've Sculpted Second Skin. Now if you'd like me to compare all these in one video, let me know in the comments below. Thanks a million for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to be uploading so many more beauty videos. I'm going to put them in a beauty playlist. I'll link the playlist below if you want to find it, and we'll have all the beauty chats there. And actually, let me know, have you tried the Cream Cushion Foundation yet? If you have, let me know. Or let me know what your favourite Sculpted by Aimee base is actually. I feel like she has it when it comes to the bases and the foundations. They're so good. Anyway, thanks a million for watching. See you in the next video. Look at my skin. Do I need more blush? No.